Hi everyone, welcome to Pawpaw's Workshop. Today I'm starting off on a brand new series, and what I'm doing is I'm going to be converting the PDF plans that were available from flighttest.com, and I'll put a link down below to their website. But this is the Edge 540. And one of the things that I want to be able to do is cut this out on the CNC machine rather than cut it out by hand. So today's project, all I'm doing is taking the wooden parts and getting those sized correctly and carving them on the XCarve. Let's get started. To begin with, I'm opening up a new window in Inkscape. I'm going to open the file and bring in one page of the Edge 540 to be able to work on it. When I open the file to be able to bring this into easel, you can see that there are 71 pages. This is the tiled version of the plans for the Edge 540. What I'm looking for is page 6, which is just the wooden parts. So it displays that page right there, so I know exactly what it's going to look like. So I'll select my page 6 and I'll open it in Inkscape. Now this is the PDF image opened in Inkscape. So what I'm going to do is select this. So everything is now selected, and I'm going to go ahead and go up to the path and select Trace Bitmap. And over here, I'm just going to reduce the colors down to 2 and hit my update. Okay, now that I've got the image, the Trace Bitmap done, what I'm going to do is highlight the Edit node. And I'm going to come up here and highlight this section. Now I'm just going to right-click, open up the window, and hit Cut. Then I'll take the next section. You can see how it turns to the red and the nodes are displayed, and I'll hit Cut. So this is the process that you've got to go through to be able to do that. Now in the older version, I could put this box around an entire group and hit the right click and delete it, but it's not allowing me to do that. What it's doing is I scroll over the different items, it turns red, I right click and hit Cut. So for all the folks out there that are very familiar with Inkscape and are familiar with this new update, go ahead and leave a comment below so we can be able to see if there's an easier way to do this, and I'm sure there is. So for now, I'm just going to highlight the item as it turns red, click on it, right click, cut, and eliminate it. So I'm going to do this, and it's going to take a few minutes, but this is a process you have to go through to be able to eliminate all of the items that you do not want to carve on the XCarve. And one of the things that you can do, as it turns red, so you select it and then hold the Shift key down and you can select multiple items. And then from there, once you've got everything highlighted, go ahead and right click and be able to hit the cut and eliminate that line. Now I went ahead and saved the file in Inkscape and brought it over into easel. And what I've done is I've regrouped that page and put the parts down into a smaller section. So this is actually a 6x6 work area that I'm going to be able to carve on. And I've taken some time to be able to resize it as close as I possibly can, because as many of you aware, it is difficult to get 100% accurate with easel. But what I've done is take the calipers, make my measurements, and be able to set it up as close as I possibly can at this point. So here we are, we're going to do an experiment to see if it cuts correctly. The project is actually going to be carved out of the birch plywood, and it's an 8x8 piece of material, and the thickness of it is 0.11. I'm going to be using a 32nd inch bit to be able to carve this, and I'm going to carve all the way through. And by carving all the way through, I am not using the tabs. What I'm doing is using my vacuum table to be able to carve this. I'm using my vacuum table to cut out these small parts. The other thing that I'm experimenting with is I have the thickness of the plywood at 0.11 of an inch. But what I did is added a piece of tape across the bottom, which actually raises that up just a very slight amount. This is to avoid cutting into my wasteboard. I like being able to use the vacuum table because it eliminates the need to have the tabs, and it makes for a cleaner cut. And you can see these tabs, or these parts, are just popping out quite easily. To do a quick review, these control horns are perfect. They fit exactly over the full size, as do the reinforcement disc. That is perfect. The firewall is actually just a tiny bit smaller. Now on these parts, I just quickly looked at them and see that they are about 5/100ths of an inch smaller than what they need to be. Now what I'm going to do is line these up very, very carefully and take some extremely accurate measurements from the wood part over to the paper, and then we're going to make the adjustments in easel. Now the control horns themselves were perfect, so I don't need to make any adjustments there. And the same thing with the reinforcing wheels down here. These reinforcements need no adjustments. Okay, on this firewall that we need to be able to adjust, I only need to change this by 3/100ths of an inch, going both directions along the XY axis. Just take my 1.992 and my new number is going to be 2.022, and then on my height, same thing, I'm adding 3/100ths, and that new number is going to be 1.7, and now that is corrected. Okay, on this part, I need to be able to increase my width by only 4/100ths, and on my height, I need to adjust it by 8/100ths. The easiest way to be able to do that is we're just going to make those adjustments right here, and I'm just going to type in my new number. So on my width, 2.793 right now, I'm adding it 4/100ths, so my new number is 2.833. And on my height, I need to change that, as I said, by 8/100ths of an inch. So I'm currently at 1.485. My new number is going to be 1.565, and that's going to take care of it. Now on this next part, you can see that this has been rotated 90 degrees. So this point from here to here is actually the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. And that's important when keying in the new measurements. Now that completes all of the parts. The next time that I cut this out, they actually should cut perfect. So you can see over here what it looks like. And I now have my parts. The good thing about this is repeatable. I can make as many parts as I want now, and I don't have to worry about cutting them out by hand. This will save a lot of time, even though it takes a lot of time in the beginning to get it set up just right. This is going to be a fun project to do, but it is going to take some time. So please stop by often to see the progress being made. Hi everyone, thank you for watching my video today. If you like the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell next to it so you'll be notified on the different videos that I upload. Also check out the videos over here to be able to stay up to date on the happenings in my shop. So again, thank you for watching my videos.